Do you want to learn how to set boundaries in relationship? Hi, I'm Antia Boyd.
And I'm Boyd.
And together we are the creators of the Magnetize the Man method. And today we are talking about how to set boundaries in relationship, right? And where this really comes from is so many women are struggling with, the fear of being left or rocking the boat or really stepping up and stepping into their power out of fear, of course, that their partner leaves.
Yeah. And what we were really big believers in is the power of interpersonal relationships. So in relationship, there's only really 3 different modes of being with your partner. And that is codependency, independence, or interdependence, which is really the blending of the codependency and the independency. So do you want to explain all the independency? So really codependency is when 2 people are leaning on each other and they're like this, needing all of their needs to be met with the other person. It's very unhealthy because you can't get all your needs met from another human being. You have to have your own self as well in a relationship. And then do you want to explain independency?
Yeah, of course. Well, independence is where you're basically roommates, right? Everybody's just doing their own thing, and you're just doing too many things that are not in each other's lives. So you really have not enough glue to stick together.
Yeah, you don't even really have common goals together. So that's like 2 people totally apart from each other. And then interdependency is what I like to think of as 2 people standing next to each other holding hands, where you both have your own unique interests and things that you like to do and your time spent apart, but you're also able to do things together and co-create a life together with that bond of relationship.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's why it's important to set boundaries, because those boundaries will allow the independence part that is in the interdependence to be alive every single day of every single week in your relationship, right? Because otherwise this becomes too codependent. So now how do you set boundaries in relationship? Actually it's not that super different than from setting boundaries when you're single. First, a really important thing is to really start with the compliment sandwich, right? And how this goes is like, hey babe, I really appreciate you always being so attentive to me and so present with me. And what would make me even happier would be if you helped open the door for me every single time.
Okay.
So that's how this goes, right? So you build up your man. You always want to build up your man. You never tear down your man, okay? And same for men too. You never tear down your woman, right? Why is that? Well, because you want to make each other happy. You want to have a long-lasting, sustainable relationship, right? And it's only sustainable when you build each other up.
Yeah, so think of it like when you're feeding your dog medicine, right? You want to give him the pill, but put it in some juicy, tasty meat so that he can really see the deliciousness of it and then also get the health value out of it. So you're telling him what you want, but you're not telling it in a way where it sounds like you're criticizing him or you're beating him down, or her. For men, if you're not beating them down, but you're saying, look, I really appreciate how you've been doing all these things, like what I said, and please, I would really love it if you do this. And then you end with appreciation. Well, super powerful way to set those boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also, to set boundaries really early on. So I remember when I met Brody, I said right away what was okay with me, what wasn't okay with me. I wasn't like, well, let's just kind of see how things go. And then months later, I was saying something. No, this would never work, right? So you have to make sure you set boundaries very early on, so you send congruent communications and signals to your mate.
Yeah, and this is very important as well. One thing I love to say is how a relationship starts is generally how it will continue. So you're going to want to write that down, because relationships, their foundation is set from the very beginning. So if you're starting a relationship just giving, and letting them take advantage of you in certain ways, that's how the relationship's most likely going to continue for your whole life. So you want to set it up very, very strongly from the beginning, being able to say what works for you and what doesn't, and stopping yourself as well from doing things you're not okay with, that you don't want to do from the beginning as well. because otherwise that becomes an expectation in the relationship. And if you start changing later on, they're going to say, whoa, what's going on? Do you not love me anymore? Like, why now are you saying you're not going to do all these things for me when you used to do that before? You used to buy me all these things, or you used to always, massage my feet, or always you make me dinner all the time, and now you're asking me to contribute, but what's happened? Did I change? Are you not attracted to me anymore? So you really want to set it from the very beginning, because later on it'll cause challenges if you then decide, okay, now I'm going to switch it up. So be very conscious right away, which is so great you're doing the work right away by learning these tools.
Yes, absolutely. And lastly, I think what's really important is to check in with your partner and be like, hey, is there anything that you would like to share with me, right? Because again, it's a partnership, okay? And so you really want to know, like, okay, well, I set my boundaries with you, but do you, not like necessarily do you agree with that, but like check in with them and be like, is there anything that I can do, to make our relationship even more juicy and fulfilled and self-expressed and happy and sexual, sensual, whatever it is that you feel like you might be able to contribute more to.
Yeah, totally. You want to find out what are their needs. What are the needs of your partner? Because if their needs are always met, they will never leave you. And if your needs are always met, you'll never leave them. You'll just be a happy relationship. So it's only when you stop knowing what your partner's needs are and you stop meeting those needs that you're going to have challenges. So that's why it's so important to always check in regularly with your partner. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Why are you feeling that way? What do you want? And just ask them, what do you want? Because if you're so busy focused on yourself and your own needs and maybe your own resentments, then you have no chance to be in the other person's world. Stephen Covey says, seek first to understand before seeking to be understood. And now you can set those boundaries and you can set those agreements of what's going to win-win for both of you, the win-win situation, and you can both move forward happily to create that happy future and happy relationship together.
So, in summary, how you set boundaries in relationship is number 1, you create a compliment sandwich. Number 2, you really check in with your partner very early on, right? Not late in the game. And number 3, you also make sure, hey, is there anything that you would like to contribute? You have any desires from my end? Okay? So those are the 3 keys that are really important to set boundaries in relationship and continue to have an independent and happy and fulfilling and long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, so what's next? So now knowing these tools, we found there's going to be a lot of challenges with implementing these things. As of course, knowing anything is one thing, but walking the path, as Morpheus said in The Matrix, is something totally different. So you're going to need some support, you're going to need some guidelines, because oftentimes these patterns have been going on for you for years, and it takes some support, it takes some breakthroughs to be able to start being somebody new in relationship, to start attracting happy relationship, to start attracting what you need from your partner. And so that's where we're going to find more support is going to be needed, which we have a special gift to help with that as well.
Yes, so for those of you who are like, gosh, I really have I'm so scared to rock the boat. I have so much fear that my partner's going to leave me or feel offended. I invite you to come on a Magnetize the Man clarity call with me, where we get crystal clear how you can magnetize your man to yourself even more. And what are your vulnerability thresholds that are really keeping you from really pulling your partner closer to you? Okay, so for that, hop on over to magnetizetheman.com, and the slots, of course, are very limited. So, of course, they're only there as long as they last.
Yeah, I believe we only have about 4 or so slots right now. So make sure to claim those right now while they're available, and we look forward to supporting you and helping you on your journey to lasting love and fulfillment in your amazing power couple relationship, interdependent, as we like to call it. So much love, take care, and we look forward to talking very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mwah!